Normally busy on a Friday, the Holtby Chiropractic Clinic is closed to patients for now. A sign in the window tells why.
Yeah, we don't know anything yet.
Dr. Ralph Holtby learned yesterday that his 21-year-old daughter, Bonnie, was among the 9 Oregon firefighters killed in Colorado. Holtby, a former smoke jumper himself, says Bonnie was a third-generation firefighter, a quiet but cool-headed small-town girl who decided while in high school she wanted to become a member of an elite hotshot crew. Bonnie's father says his daughter also recognized the risks.
She didn't feel like she had to live her life on the edge, but she enjoyed the challenge of a fire. To her, it was a challenge to be able to put it out.
Bonnie had been on a hotshot team like this for 3 years, one of the growing number of women tackling this dirty, demanding kind of work.
It's dangerous, definitely. I know my mother thinks I'm crazy.
Karen Curtis became a hotshot back in 1987. She says while it's not for everyone, she enjoyed it because she got to test herself in sometimes scary situations. In light of the tragic deaths, does she still think it's worth it?
Fires aren't going to go away. You know, it's sort of the dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. And there's those of us that love it.
Those who live for it and sometimes tragically die for it.
The children of Glenwood Springs have become accustomed to the whir of helicopters above their homes. With each pass of these firefighting machines, 155 gallons of water is sprayed on the hot spots below. But the parents of these neighborhoods question why the fire assault came so late.
They said that they were just watching it. That was all we heard.
And how did that make the homeowners feel?
Well, it upset everybody, because especially since it got completely out of control.
1, 2,
At the firefighters' camp, known as Tent City, support personnel erect yet another shelter for the more than 250 firefighters now battling the Glenwood Springs blaze. But Monday, when the fire started, the city fire chief told the Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service he didn't have the manpower he needed. By Wednesday, fewer than 50 firefighters were dispatched to Glenwood Springs.
Timing was a little bit off, and I think that was because it took everybody by surprise, and nobody really thought it was going to be this serious. And then, you know, of course, they didn't really have a chance to react to it.
There are other questions driving the investigation. Why were crews working when weather reports warned of high shifting winds? And why weren't stormtroopers accompanied by safety supervisors? A Forest Service spokesman told Channel 2 their crew leaders from the hotshot firefighters made the final decision as to how to attack the blaze.
You can always use all the supposition you want and say, oh yeah, they shouldn't have done this and they shouldn't have done that. Well, maybe they shouldn't have, but you know, they took all the precautions I assume that were needed, and they were trained and they knew their business.
The hot Central Oregon sun does little to warm the hearts of those waiting to welcome home their sons and daughters. The airplane carrying Oregon firefighters killed in Colorado touches down on the high desert, home to 6 of the fallen firefighters. Along with families, the 11 surviving hotshot team members pay tribute to their friends.
It's going to be good having them back home, but not being able to shake their hands when they come off that plane is a raw deal.
Family and friends carry Kathy Beck's remains to a waiting hearse as they remember the 24-year-old Beaverton native who served in the Army Reserves.
As the rest of the crew is coming home now, we can get on with the funerals and the grieving process and begin bringing closure to this terrible tragedy.
A tragedy punctuated by a sad procession of flag-draped coffins, this one carrying the body of Bonnie Holtby, a 20-year-old Redmond High School graduate. And this family coming together to welcome home 27-year-old John Kelso, a Prineville engineering student who loved firefighting and who was loved by his crewmates.
That was too good a bunch of people, and we were too tight a crew and had too good a time with each other that wherever they are, they're smiling, and people should smile when they think of them.
For friends of the fallen firefighters, the grieving continues. Some coworkers here at the Redmond Air Center tell me they plan to attend at least 6 or 7 funerals before the week is out. In Redmond, Michael Hanna, Channel 2 News.
I think the people of Glenwood Springs would be thankful forever for what these people give up. They give up their lives for us. And Prineville, we will always be grateful to that whole town. They gave up so much. They gave up 9 of their people for us. I feel real connected with the Prineville. You know, I mean, I'd love to walk into Prineville and just hug everybody and tell them thank you for what they sent us.
They're all pretty somber, pretty quiet. Yeah, pretty concerned. There's a lot of them that want to get right back out there, though. Don't want to sit around, just get us back out on the line.
That's what they do.
Mm-hmm. It's their life.
I would invite you to remember them by saying their names out loud with me. John Kelso, Terry Hayden.
These 14 are now part of Glenwood and will remain so. They are part of ours. The pain, the sorrow, we feel as well, or we wouldn't be wearing the purple ribbons or be here today.
A serenade of sorrow from the children of Glenwood Springs. A song for the families of the 14 fallen firefighters as Colorado says thank you.
In Colorado, remember that they were here to protect us, to help us live in safety.
1,500 people crowd into this park, firefighters from across the country and regular folks who come because they care.
They obviously gave a lot. They gave their lives in protecting people like us.
Their gratitude goes not only to those who died, but also to those who made it off Storm King Mountain alive. The Prineville Hotshots get a standing ovation. Then Oregon families showed their appreciation for the town of Glenwood Springs. Terry Hagan's mom came from Prineville.
I want to say thank you to people whose hearts have gone out to all of us.
Finally, the 14 families gather to dedicate the firefighter memorial. All of them pull on a smoke jumper's parachute to reveal the statue, which will forever mark the sacrifices made here. As if that moving ceremony wasn't enough, consider this. That memorial and the park around it, all of it donated by the people of Glenwood Springs on an evening when two states unite, Oregon and Colorado, united in sorrow and in love. In Glenwood Springs, Colorado, Michael Hanna, Channel 2 News.